Hello, and welcome to Cry Havoc Wargaming, dedicated to bringing you the uncommon. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Ron, and today we're going to do an after-action report of Perilous Tales by Planet Smasher Games. So let's get started. I received a comment recently in the comment section down below asking if I might do a after-action report of Perilous Tales, a game by Mike Hutchinson through Planet Smasher Games. And it has been quite a while since I have touched upon this game. I'm going to do a little more of an introduction than I was planning because it's been a while since I've discussed this game. And the game at the time, because of COVID and the closures, this being a solo or cooperative game, was I think a little more well known back then. I think it has sort of faded out of the forefront lately. The rules for this game are available for download as an open beta on Planet Smasher Games' webpage. There's also a Facebook page. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Perilous Tales, it is basically a pulp game, but it's really more of a pulp horror game. I wasn't going to do a long introduction, and I don't want to go very long with it, but I do want to point out some things so the video will make a little sense. The game is designed to take place on a 2x2 table. You can either choose our role for what your villains are going to be, then you roll and choose for what the basic table layout is going to be, you roll and choose for what your objectives are going to be, and these things all come together. So the beginning of my video is going to start by giving you some of the choices that I ended up either making or randomly determining. So that's what's going on in the beginning. Those things are going to help decide the actual game. It's not a lot of detail. The game is very, very light, very, very beer and pretzel-y, but designed so you can use all sorts of different pieces of terrain you might have, all sorts of different villains you might have, and that you can just hobble something together with what you have around the house, which is exactly, in fact, what you're about to see here. So enough of this. Let's go to the gaming table. We have Lowell Peterson. He is a lucky and tough investigator. He's here with his girlfriend, Jane Dearborn, who just happens to be a crack shot with her little pistol there. They're being supported by the vicar of this particular church of St. Oswald's, and that's Father Fitzwilliam, who is handy. They're also being supported by local gangster Barney the Hammer, who is a brute, who's giving them a little bit more muscle, and Constable Jones over here, who's a local eagle-eyed policeman. Their goals are to stop the ritual. There was an idol, which just happens to be on the altar inside the church. There's Kill the Master. That's going to be the vampire count himself, so they have to kill by the end of the game, and rescue the prisoner. There's a prisoner all the way back here, a young lady who has been taken by the vampire count, who is going to be sacrificed in the ritual. So that's where we stand for the game. The game begins with the hero phase, and we decide what actions we want to take. So we're going to activate Lowell. The leader gets 3 action points, everybody else gets 2 action points. Okay, I'm going to use Eyes Peeled as my first action. Then I'm going to move for 4, which will take us right into here. And I'm going to go ahead and move a second 4. That's going to take me inside the church. I'm going to go ahead and move Dearborn. She's only got 2 actions. She's going to go ahead and move twice to be inside the church. And we might as well do the same thing with the father. So our main investigating party of 3 is already in the church. Going to go ahead and move the policeman. He's eagle-eyed. He's going to move for 4 this way. And does he move another 4, or does he stop in? I think what I'll do is go ahead and do a spot hidden skill test. So he's going to try to spot first what this threat token is over here. So this could be the first skill test of the game. It requires line of sight. We have line of sight. Skill check, roll d10 of one color, which will be the difficulty test. At the same time, roll a d10 of a second color, equal to the skill of the model. So we're going to make the red the difficulty, and we're going to make the blue the skill roll. So the difficulty is only 2. There should have been 2 dice because your skill is 2. The 10 is a crit, so that counts as 2 successes, and the 6 is a success, so that's 3 successes on the revealing tokens. Also, are they within 6? That one's going to be revealed automatically. So this marker is revealed just because he's within 6 inches, and it is a 4. That is a bat swarm. And he reveals this one with his spot hidden, and that is a 3, which is a thrall. And then we'll go ahead and move Barney the Hammer. Barney the Hammer is going to move over to here. He does not have line of sight, so he might as well move a second time. He has line of sight now, but he's out of range, so it doesn't reveal itself. So that is the end of the hero phase. We go into the villain phase. We do the threat check skip. The current threat level, which is 0. Actually, the threat level starts at 1. Threat check is a villainous attack with a skill equal to the current threat level, which is 1, and a minimum difficulty equal to the number of heroes in play. So the minimum difficulty is going to be 5. That is equal to. So the threat level is 1. The noose tightens. Move each unrevealed threat mark. If there is a hero within 10 inches, move it 1 inch towards the hero nearest it, else move it 1 inch towards the center of the board. Then apply the threatening overture, which is the threat level goes up by 1. Threat level is now 2. That goes 1. That goes 1. That goes 1. 1 to 5 here. 6 to, this is to determine, actually he's probably closest, so it's going to go 1 inch towards Barney. Alright, so they all move. Now we go to the actual villainous activities. We have 2 villains who have in fact been revealed. When moving, they must move the shortest route by which the model can move, rather than a direct line, and end in close as possible. Villains may move whether or not they are engaged. Threat markers must always ignore terrain, and moving can move and stop on top of a piece of terrain. If a villain needs to target a hero, then they will target in range of the current action, within 3 of an objective, or the suffered most wounds, or 4th, caught randomly between the heroes that must match. But we have to check their behavior. What we have right now is a bat swarm. Bat swarms are minions and they're aggressive. That means that they have no skill check, that activates them. They just go straight to, they have no check. So they go into villainous attack. A villainous attack is a skill check range 1, or they don't have anyone within 1, but they then can advance. Advance 6 inches towards target hero. The Thrall's also aggressive. He's a minion. When this model would select a target hero, and the criteria model that is marked is step 1 to 5 of this target hero selection. So he's going to advance. If I'm doing this right. So at the end of the villainous action phase, the bats can go right on to the policeman. Alright, that's the end of that turn. We go to the second turn. Actually, they can go anywhere. I think the bats are going to go in here. Didn't say anything about line of sight. So they're going to go into the church to Lowell Peterson. And with that in mind, I'm going to have to activate Lowell Peterson first. So he is engaged. The Bat Swarm skill is 3, so that is my goal. I'm going to swing with 4 at the bats. I get a 4, a 1, a 7, and a 10. The 10 counts as 2 again, so that's, ooh, but the 1's a fumble. Alright, so that's an automatic. He gets a 10 anyway on the skill roll, so that's a fumble anyway. Regardless of the check dice, that was not going to be successful. So instead, we will go ahead and try this again. For my second action. So I got a 2, but the minimum is going to be 3. So, but now I get 2 1s, an 8, and a 3. So I still have to look up what the critical failures meant. Cannot be a success. He's got 1 last action. We're going to swing again, even though he keeps missing these bats. He will get him this time. It's going to be a 5. We get a 7, 8, and a 5. So that's 3 hits on the bats. The bats take 3 wounds, so the bat swarm is gone. That was inside here. The bat swarm had flown into here and fought them, and we took out that bat swarm. But that took all 3 of his actions to do. We'll go ahead and move Jane Driscoll. Jane Driscoll is going to move 8 inches, so she's going to have to go out after to be able to interact. I'm going to move the policeman. He's going to move for 4. He's going to move in with the thrall. He's going to take a swing at the thrall. His skill is 2. The thrall's got a minimum skill of 5. 1 hit. He takes 6 wounds, or can take 6 wounds. I guess I have to move him within, oh, he's already within 6, so this should be revealed. Oh, not good. That should have been revealed last turn, too. That is the vampire count. I'm going to go ahead and not jump back on that, so we'll call him just revealed. And I'm going to shoot at him. So his skill is 7. Barney's skill is 2. The vampire's skill is 7, so it's a minimum of 7, but he rolls a 9, and Barney rolled a 4 and a 1, so that's a fail. His second roll, also a fail. Barney's probably in trouble, and that's the end of that turn. It is their action. The first thing we do is we check for the threat level. The threat level right now, it begins, it's at 2, so there's going to be 2 dice, and there's still 5 of us. That cannot be a success. They should counter each other, 1 and a 10, but they apparently don't. So that is no successes. No successes means the news tightens. So we go up to 1 point to threat level 3. And now it is their turn. And the vampire count, we're now at threat level 4 because we just revealed the master. He's aggressive. He can do a villainous attack, but that's for range 1. There's nothing in there. He can do an advance. So he's going to advance for 6 inches, which is going to put him up in contact with Barney the Hammer. Not good news for Barney the Hammer, I assure you. We also have a fight over here with the Thrall and Constable Jones. The Thrall has a skill of 5 and against a minimum of 2 for Constable Jones. So no success possible there. That is a fail, a fumble, and that is it for that turn. We go to turn 3. We're going to go ahead and activate Barney first, I think. Barney's got 2 actions. His skill is 2. He's fighting against the vampire count himself with a minimum difficulty of 7. But I roll a 9, but that's going to change it to a difficulty of 9. He rolled a 5 and a 6. That's unsuccessful. He'll take a second action also against the same, and that's going to automatically fail. 1, he gets a 1, and 2, it is a misfortune on that 10 from the vampire. So that's not at all good for Barney. Constable Jones has a skill of 2. The Thrall has a skill of 5, so it's a minimum difficult of, again, automatic. It's a misfortune. They're rolling a lot of 10s right now. That's not good for our side. And Jade Dearborn is going to try to go for the objective marker. So she's going to have to try to do an interact. Her skill is 2, and it's going to be to interact with the idol. And she gets 1 success. She's going to do that for her second action, and that's no success that time. So she has got one success on dismantling the idol. She needs 3 of those to be successful in the end. Lowell is going to move up. He's going to move up next to Jane. He's going to try his own rolls. That was only one action. He's got 3. So he's going to use the other 2 to do the same thing, but his skill is 4. So we're going to roll first to see if he's successful. He only needs a 3, and but he's got a 1. That is a fumble, and that can't be done because of the 10. So he does not dismount it. The priest back here, the Father Fitzwilliam, is still there, and he's going to move. And that is our side done. We have to roll first for the threat level. There is now 4 dice because we are at threat level 4. See how that really climbs. So there's going to be 4 dice. Okay, so it's going to be 5 is the goal. The 3 successes is crawling chaos. Each heroic model makes a horror check, plus 1 to the current threat level. Then apply the noose result. So we'll do the horror checks first. This is our first horror check of the game. When a character is required to make a horror check, you make a skill check. If no successes are scored, the hero immediately takes a walk action away from the closest villain within line of sight, or towards the hero's board gauge if there is no villain. So Lowell Peterson, he has his 4 successes. He's fine. We're going to roll now for Jane right next to him. She needs a 5. She's got that. 2 successes. She's fine. Father Fitzwilliam, he has 2 successes. He's fine. Barney the Hammer. Barney Hammer has 2 successes, so he's fine. And lastly is Constable Jones. Constable Jones has 1 success. So far, they're holding up. But that was only the crawling chaos. We then go to the noose titans. So each of the threat markers moves 1 inch towards a heroic model nearest to it, if there is one within 10. So there's there. There's there. Oh. There is one in there, which I think I forgot. That actually should be revealed. I forgot it was in there. We'll move that in a moment. And there. So the one that's in there, it's a 2. A 2 is a thrall. So the vampire is going to attack first. The vampire is over here attacking Barney. He's got a skill of 7. Barney is only a skill of 2, so the minimum hardship is going to be a 2. Every one of these hit. 2 of them are criticals. So that is 9 points. Barney can only take 8. Barney is dead. He could have become a thrall if he hadn't just been killed, if he'd been wounded first. But it looks like that doesn't happen now. So we'll go ahead and do the thrall that's out here. This thrall has a skill of 5. He's fighting against the policeman. So the minimum is going to be 2. But he's got a bunch of 1s, so that's useless. Then inside we're going to have, he's going to have to do his move. So he'll come in. It's not a hero. I don't know. And then, we skipped the end of Noose Titan. It goes to threatening overtures, which means the threat level should have gone up to 6. Now it's now our turn. Things are going a little bit rough for us. The end of the creature turn. This creature can move randomly to another character. There's 4 left. We'll go ahead and roll 1. It goes to, he's going to within an inch of the father. Lowell has to deal with that thrall, so we'll deal with Lowell first. Lowell's first thing is going to attack the thrall that's right near him. The thrall, it's going to be a minimum of 5, but he gets a 7. I, however, get, the 2 is no good, but I get an 8 and 2 10s, so that's 5 points on the thrall. Thralls take 6, so he's got 1 hit left. I'll go ahead and take my second action on the thrall. This time I need a 7. I get 4 hits this time. We take the thrall out. And I still have 1 action left. I will go ahead and use it to take out Try to take out the icon. We need a 4, 3. The icon is gone. So we have destroyed the ritual, stopped the ritual. We've destroyed item, killed the one object, and that's where we're at now. I'm going to go ahead and activate Jane Dearborn. And Jane is going to try to shoot the vampire before it closes. Jane is a crack shot. She gets an additional +1 skill when making a shooting attack. That's what she's doing, is making a shooting attack. It's against the vampire, who has a skill of 7, so that's already a minimum of 7. The difficulty is an 8, so it's actually going to go up to 8. There's no successes there. So second shot's going to be the normal 7, and there is 1 shot. I guess Father Fitzwilliam should try to do something to help himself here. He's going to go ahead and close and try to fight the vampire. I don't think he's got much other choice here. It's going to be 7 is the minimum. He gets 1 hit. So there are 2 hits on our vampire right now. Of course, he takes 10. Constable Jones out here. Jones is going to swing at his thrall. He needs a 7. He gets 1 hit. First thing we have to do is we have to roll for the threat check. They now are at 6, and we are at 4, a minimum of 4. It's going to stay 4, but that's 6 successes. From the shadows, spawn a new minion model within 1 inch of a heroic model with the fewest number of heroic models within 3 inches of it. Randomize with multiple. Then apply the crawling chaos success. So that new thrall is going to appear over here. Then crawling chaos. Each heroic model makes a horror check +1 to the current threat level. 6 is our minimum difficulty. We'll roll for the cop first out here. It says 6 is the minimum. He gets a success. We'll roll for the priest. That is 1 success. No, that's a failure. He has to move 4 inches away. He's going to move over to here. We'll roll for Dearborn. Dearborn is at a 6. She moves 4 inches away. She's going to move back into here. And our hero, Lowell, so he gets fumbles, so he's moving 4 inches away. And now we get the fights. So the first thing we have an aggressive attack right here. So all skills are 5. The minimum is 2. It's going to be 2. He gets fumble though. The other thrall is going to move into contact. Vampire is going to move into contact with the priest. And we go to our next turn. Let's go ahead and do the priest first. That's a failure. I don't think we can shoot into combat. We shouldn't be able to. But I can close, so we're going to move 1 action to move in. Then we'll swing. This is Lowell Peterson. He cannot succeed because the creature got a 10. I will go ahead and move Jane also into the fight. Jane's better at shooting, but I don't think she can shoot into a fight. All right, so it's going to be a 7. She rolls a 10 and a 5, so that's 2 hits. The vampire has taken 2 more hits. He's now at 4. Poor Constable Jones gets 1 hit on one of the critters. But it is their turn. Oh, I forgot these should have moved an inch this way, an inch that way, an inch here, and that should have gone to 6. So now we roll for that again. We're now at 6, so they get 6 dice. They need 4s or higher, but they get a failure. That's going to be a threatening overture. Threat level just goes up 1 to 7. It has a maximum of 10. Now we have some direct attacks. So the thralls are going to attack the officer. They have a skill of 5. It's a minimum of 2, but he rolls a 10. They can't. The first one can't hit him. The second one needs an 8, and it gets, no, it's got a 1, so it can't hit him. I have to check and make sure I'm doing that right. The vampire gets 7. I think he has to roll. None of them have been hit. Well, anything over a 3 we'll ignore. 1 is Jane, 2 is Lowell, 3 is the priest. It's going to be Jane. Jane's defense is 2, but they roll a 3. 4 hits right there. 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. All she takes. So Jane Dearborn is down. Now, this has been in line of sight of both Lowell and Father Fitzwilliam. You do horror level. So he's going to fall back 4 inches. The other one's going to fall back 4 inches. You're going to go this way. That is it. It is our turn. Well, this should be revealed now. It is a 7. Okay, this is 1,000 cuts. A bunch of bats have been awakened by that action. They come flying by. So we have to roll the generic 1,000 cuts. When revealed, a revealer suffers a skill 3 attack. Peril remains in play. If a hero activates within 6 inches of the peril, they suffer a skill 3 attack. So that should stay there. Anytime we activate within 6 inches of this, is that the knave? So 3 level attack. My skill is 4. It's going to be 5 though, but it gets 5 hits. Ouch. 5 hits on my hero. The minimum is 7. Got 2 ones. That's definitely a fail. But I can do that 2 more times. Again, that's also a miss. 1 more time. I need a 9. That's also a miss. I need to check on those ones to see if I'm doing that right. I'm going to go ahead and do an attack with the father. He probably really wouldn't have a ranged attack, but I'm going to go ahead and give him one. He gets a hit. 4 points. But out here, father, minimum is 5. He gets 1 hit. He hasn't even taken one of these down yet. And now it is their turn. The minimum is going to be 3, and that's what it's going to be, is 3. 6. 6 successes. From the shadows, spawn a new minion within 1 inch of a heroic model. It's supposed to be the one that's furthest away from anybody, so it should be him again. So then we apply Crawling Craws. That's the horror check one. Out here first. Minimum 7. We get a 9, that's a failure. Constable Jones is going to try to start getting out of here. I'm going to shoot with Peterson. Minimum is going to be 7. It's a failure. During a skill check, when any skill die over 1 is a fumble and may never count as a success regarding the difficulty of the test. I just killed him. Oh, except I should be taking damage. Alright, didn't take any damage from the bats. Father Oswald's going to go ahead and move out. I'm going to move him this way. This should be revealed. It should have revealed when he went in that direction. That's a 6. 6 in the graveyard. That's probably more bats. Now that's Creeping Horror. In the dark and the mist, each headstone appears as some foul, spectral ghoul besetting on you on all sides of malevolence. And, well, that's great, but what does it do? Creeping Horror. This peril remains in play. All heroes within 6 inches of this peril suffer disadvantage on all non-attack skill checks. I'm gonna run him back to her, try to save her. That's all my people moved. So now we have to roll 3. They can't beat that, so that's going to be a no success. This automatically goes to an 8 though. But that's all that happens, so that's good news. Well, all that happens on as far as the threat check goes, but we still have critters. I don't know if I did kill the vampire. He should have gotten 3 hit points back when he killed the girl. Yeah, I probably still killed him. I think I did 4 or 5 points. If he healed 3, he would have been back down to 6. Yeah, I think I still killed him, but I don't know. I think they're going to run after him. I don't think they have a choice, because I don't think they can see the other guy. So the thralls are going after the cop. It is our turn. I'm going to go ahead and move the hero all the way out. That's going to reveal this. That's a 5. Yeah, 5's a bat swarm. And we'll go ahead and move the cop 4 inches and do an interact. Skill test, range 1, may not be taken while engaged. Must declare a single purpose. Okay, I'm going to try to interact with her, and that's a failure. Does not save her, not yet. Goes to the critter turn. They've got 8. And they only need a 3. It is a 3. Wow, but that's a failure. So that was a 0, so it's going to go to 9 without anything else happening. We're almost at the max. They're going to go ahead and activate. The bats are going to go in there and they're going to attack for nothing. And it's our turn. I'm going to go to interact first with... That's a failure. He's going to try again. That's a failure. Well, the father's going to go with the bats. Minimum is 3. He's got a 4. That's 1 hit. So 3 hits. Hero will go ahead, move for 2, come in, and also help. Again, the minimum is 3. It's going to be 6, but I do 2, 3, so the bats are gone. It's another bat swarm killed. So it is their turn. So we roll. It's 9 now. We only have 3 dudes, 3 guys. But that's a failure. But it still goes to 10. That's the maximum. So it's going to stop going up from now. However, it is their turn. Alright, next turn's going to hurt. Alright, so he gets 1 hit point. No hit points. Go ahead and call it. That's 2 hits. So he kills one of them. 1 thrall is down. Now it is going to be their phases. He only needs a 4. 9. Trap is sprung. Move the 2 unrevealed threat markers further from any heroic model 7 inches to the nearest. Then apply from the shadows. I don't think we have any unrevealed. We do not. Yeah, we do. It's one way over here. Forgot about that. Move 7 inches over to here. That's the last unrevealed. And now it is revealed. It is an 8. Open grave. Fresh plot. Unfinished. That's disaster strikes. The revealer suffers a skill 7 attack. If he does any wounds, he is knocked down. But this one goes away. He only needs a 2. 7 points. It is gone. Father takes 7. He is almost dead. And he is knocked down. That was the trap is sprung. From the shadows, spawn a new minion model within 1 inch of a heroic model with the fewest number of heroic models within 3 inches. That's just going to be randomly because it's all of us. So it's going to be on me. We're going to make it the one last. Each heroic model makes a horror check. It's 10. You can't even make that. He's going to move back 4 to there. 4 to there. Maybe their attack modes. I'm going to attack first. I'm going to attack that first one. First thrall. I need a 5. That's a miss. Second one. I need a 5. I do 4. And the last attack. I need a 7. I need 2. So I kill a thrall. Bet it took all of his turn. Game is going to finish here. One way or the other. Father. 1 thrall. Needs a... Alright, he does 3 points. It's not enough to take it out, but it does some damage. And it goes to their turn. All of their dice. And there's now only 2 of us. So the minimum is going to be 2. It's going to be 4. Oh, that's a failure. She moves in. He attacks. Attack skill is 5. I need an 8. 3 points of damage. This is getting close, man. It's our turn. I'm going to attack first with Lowell. Lowell's first swing. Cannot do anything because the bad guy rolled a 10. Second swing needs a 6. That's 2, 3. Half dead. 4. All the way dead. It's another one killed, but it took all my turn to do that, and I really need to make an interact roll. The constable, who is still holding on. That's going to be a 5. That's 2 hits. He's got to be dead again. That's it. He takes 1 out too. But that took all of his turn. Father activates. He stands up. He's going to move for 4. He's also going to risk taking damage for having done that. He takes 1 point of damage, and Constable Jones is down. That's a horror check for the other, or that's a Father Fitzwalter. It's a horror check for the others. So first for Lowell. Lowell is fine. And then for the Constable, Constable's fine. Creature phase. All of my red dice. And now it's up against, that should have been 3 by the way, last time, not 2. That is a failure, so nothing. We're okay on that. I'm going to move forward with Lowell. And then Lowell is going to try to win her over. That is 1. 1 success. I think we already had 1, didn't we? 2, well, that's 3 right there anyway, so 4. So even if I didn't have 1 already, that was now it. The game has finally ended. Wow. We just freed the captive. Nearly lost a couple of people. But we have achieved all 3 of our goals. So there is an example of a game of Perilous Tales. Did have a couple questions of the game. It's not really clear on the critical failure roll. A fumble roll is when the difficulty die ends up being at a 10, and you can't really beat that. That's going to make it impossible to make the roll. But every 1 is a critical failure. But it wasn't clear in the way the rules were written whether that meant those dice are just discounted, which they would have been anyway, unless I guess your difficulty level was 1. Or if it means that the whole roll can't succeed. I went with the whole roll. I don't know if that was right. I'm going to try to get a better verification of that later. I don't remember how I played it last time because it's probably been 2 years since I played Perilous Tales. Again, not because I don't enjoy the game, but I do play a number of pulp games. This one's actually, this is really nice as a solo game. It works as a cooperative. I have played as a cooperative. But one of the things I find nice about solo games that I learned during COVID is the more complicated and elaborate it is to set up the solo game, the less likely I'm actually to play it. I find, I played some solo Chain of Command, for instance, and I ended up playing it all on Tabletop Simulator because when I started it, it would take so long to set up my table that I just wasn't really in the mood to play the game anymore. So I think the instant rolling for scenario ideas, the ease of the rules actually make this excellent for solo gaming, and highly recommend it for that. It is, as I mentioned, still available on Planet Smasher Games. It is still a free download, so I recommend taking a look there. If any of you play Perilous Tales yourself or have comments you'd like to make, I hope you'll do that in the comments section down below. Also, if you have further ideas for content you'd like to see us produce here on Cry Havoc Wargaming, we look for that in the comments section down below. In fact, that's the whole reason we just did this video. If you've enjoyed the video, I hope that you will hit like, and if you'd like to continue to receive notifications for videos like this, or others that may help you determine how to better spend your money or time in your tabletop wargaming hobby, I hope you'll hit subscribe and ring our notification bell. Till next time, cheers.